Have you ever had really bad prints that you just thought you couldn't use anymore because your printer just ran out of ink or something like that? Well, today I want to show you how you can keep them and what you can do to use them in your journals. Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I want to show you how you can fix these bad prints when your printer is stuck on stupid, meaning it's ran out of ink or you forgot to peel the little paper that comes on your ink cartridge when you put it in the printer, and so it didn't print out a certain color. Maybe you had smears and smudges or just the wrong color, when you're supposed to have browns and other colors in there. Instead you have all one tone, which is the wrong tone. Well, I'm going to show you what you can do, and basically we're just going to idle it up using you can use a combination of paints. You could do a collage. You could use washi tape. There are a lot of different things you can do. So we're just going to, since these are 8.5 by 11, what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to add these to my journal, or to a journal page actually. And let's see, one of these, this is 110-pound cardstock, and some of these other ones are only just your like 20-pound cardstock, like your copy paper. So what I'm going to do with these, the ones that are the 20 pounds, I'm just going to go ahead and fold them in half like normal, and this is going to become an insert. I hate to mess that up, but yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in half. And since we may as well just go ahead and do both sides, the front and the back, so we don't have just like a solid color of white, we're going to idle up the front and backs of these. This is going to be the cover, and then these are going to be the inner pages. And basically all I'm going to do is, since it's going to be the cover, if you have a frame, maybe a die cut negative or something like that, what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to add some paint, and you can water down your paint. You can use gesso, watercolors, acrylic, maybe some alcohol, not alcohol ink. Well, you probably could use alcohol ink, but maybe some distress oxide inks or something like that. Actually, you could use alcohol inks and mix it with that. But for now, I'm just going to use just some water and some acrylic ink. And basically, I'm just going to kind of tone down the center. And I'm just going to put it in the middle of the page. And this is going to be like the journal writing spot. But before I actually do the center, I think I'm going to go ahead and decorate the outer part. So, yeah. I'm just going to just use some colors that are going to be in my journal. So, like, I'm going to have like greens and yellows, things like that. Ooh, a little too much of that. So what I think I'm going to do, I'll just leave some of this white that's on there. I'm just going to kind of go around the edges and just kind of, and it's watered down to keep in mind. And we're just going to add some color around the page. No rhyme or reason. And you can use stencils to do the same thing. But either way, we'll still be able to have that image bleed through, but it'll have like different colors showing through. The image will show, but it won't be just that same one tone that it was from the beginning, from the print. Like I said, you can use any kind of inks or whatever, stencils. Yeah, I find these watercolors are quite useful. We'll do the same thing on this page. Now this is going to be a cover, keep in mind. And what I might also do, just because I like grunge, I might also, after this dries, after the ink dries, I might add some distress oxide spray, just to kind of give it that extra grunginess on there. And since you can add alcohol ink to the white gesso, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add just a little dab just to give it some color. because I like that finish. I like that color when it's blended together, the white and sepia. I'm going to add a little bit more just to make it darker. I'm just going to wait for that to dry, and then I'm just going to I'm going to go ahead and paint the inside of one of these, and I am going to use some stencils. And what you could do is, you don't have to use a paintbrush. You could use a rag. You could use different things. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of blue. Add a little bit of water because that's kind of watered down now. Okay, now some of these I'm just going to leave because front and back I'm pretty much satisfied with what I'm going for. But the other ones I'm going to, now this one is the cover, remember. So I am going to do something on the outside part of it. Now remember I said I was going to take this frame, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be any kind of like a die cut negative frame or just whatever, you know. And then I'm just going to take some white gesso, and you could do white gesso, you could do like blue, or you could do something like just like a contrasting color to your outer edges. And this is going to be the journal writing spot. So I'm just going to take a brush and I'm just going to color this white. You can take a rag, you can take a brush, a dauber, just whatever you want to use to color this in. And so there's that one. I'm going to do the rest of these the same way. Okay, so here these are, and I went on ahead and put them into a signature. It's not complete yet, but and I accidentally tore this page a little bit. I was trying to wipe off the paint, and then I ended up tearing that, but that's okay because we can actually add a piece of paper, like scrap paper here, and fix that. So, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do, I need to distress the edges, but before I distress the edges, I'm just going to cut this side down just a little bit, just so that they can all be the same size. Just a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch. Normally I don't do that because I do like to have jagged edges, but in this instance I am just going to go ahead and cut them so that they fit evenly. And then I'm just going to take some alcohol ink and I'm going to distress around the edges. And all I'm going to do is just, I'm going to take one of these little daubers or alcohol blending tools and just go around the edges. And typically, when you have thin paper, now keep in mind this is the 60-pound cardstock, or actually 110-pound cardstock. When you have like 20-pound cardstock or copy paper weight paper, typically you only have to ink one side because the ink goes through, and you don't have to ink both sides. But in this case, and especially since we've added paint, acrylic paint to it, it's a little bit thicker, so we will have to go around the edges on both sides. There's just something about the color of the alcohol ink versus just your regular archival ink or distress ink, distressed oxide inks. To me, this is more pronounced. Your alcohol inks are a little bit more pronounced. So that's my go-to color to distress, or my go-to type of ink to use to distress my pages. So to me, that defines it a whole lot more. It just makes it look more natural. I like that. So I'm just gonna go around all of these and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we have this together and it's stitched, I went on ahead and just stitched it in the middle. I'm just gonna take two papers that I'm already gonna be putting into a journal. And I'm going to connect this folio insert to both of these right here. So the way I'm going to do this, now this is a little bit taller than these, and I can live with that. I'm fine with that. I'm just going to kind of line it up to where it's centered down the middle. We'll line this one up the same way. Now what I did do was I'm going to connect it with this little, this is like it's not double-sided paper, but it's a piece of scrapbook paper or printed out copy paper that I had glued to some 60-pound cardstock. And it's just what I had left over. So I'm just going to fold it over, and this is going to be our hinge. Just going to fold it in half. I'm going to do both of them the same way. And this is what I'm going to use to connect these two pages together. So let's see, which side would I want to show? I want this part to show and this part to go down. So this is going to get glued. Let's see, how does this work? It's going to go like this. Actually, it's going to go like this. So both parts will show. This is going to get attached to this, and this will be attached to this. So let me just, like I said, let me just line it up. Go ahead and add my glue. You could use double-sided tape. That would work too. I'm going to use some art glitter glue because it dries quick. And I'm basically just going to line it up in the middle where I want it to go. Now notice I kind of left, like, I need to slide this edge down a little bit. I'm gonna leave this edge really close to the end. That way when it folds, when you open up this page, it won't like bend the pages up inside the journal, if you know what I mean. It's like flush to the end right there. And then I'm just going to line this up in the middle, and I'm going to attach this hinge to this journal right here, this insert. Let's go ahead and add some glue. And make sure it's lined up. And I'm just going to leave just a little bit of space in between. It's like a 1/16 of an inch. In between. It's kind of like when you attach, it's just like when you do a journal, you leave a little bit of space in between, like right in there, you know. And then this is going to get covered up with this. So what I need to do, I need to create a hinge as well for this right here. So we need something to make that sway back and forth. But before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that this is attached to this. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to line these two up, the front page and the back page. Make sure they're lined up centered. Now this page is a little bit smaller than this page, but I'm okay with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and fold this over. And I'm going to repeat the same process. I really like this because of how thick, how wide it is. So I think I'll take a strip of it. And I'm okay that it tore. Actually, let me just add some glue to this washi because I want to make sure it doesn't come up. And this is similar, so I guess I'll put a little piece over here too. Okay, so like I said, we've got to find a hinge. And I've got some 60-pound cardstock. And let's see, this envelope is, let's see, 5.5 inches. So let me just cut this down to 5.5 inches. Let me make sure that I cut it on the right side. I'm sorry, my nephew and my son are in the background. So, yeah. Anyway. Like I said, I don't have my scoring board, but what I'm going to do is if you have a bone folder or if you have like a, I forgot what you call those things. Anyway, I'm just going to score. I'm going to put this in my paper trimmer. And the place where typically you would cut it, I'm just going to take something and run it down this little line and score it. So that works just as good. All I'm using is basically just a spatula. So that's at 1/4 inch. Is this 1/4 inch? And then we're going to do another, and then we're going to go to 1/2 inch. We're going to do 5 1/4 inches. If that makes any sense. So 1, 2, let's slide on over another 1/4 inch. You have to learn to improvise. We're going to come over another 1/4 inch. And then one more 1/4 inch, which is basically 2.5 inches. So this one's going to go this way. 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 And then this one's going to go this way. And basically what we've done is we've created this part and this part. These two are going to get glued on here in the middle. And actually we could, it doesn't have to go in the middle. We could actually just make it only on this page, really. And then this could just flip back and forth just from this page alone. We could make it go in the middle, but we're not. We're actually just going to make it go on this page. So this right here is the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue these center pieces together. The four that go together like that. Because these two are going to be on the outside, basically. So we're going to, this is going to get glued together. This is going to get glued together. This and this.
Yes.
And you want to make sure that it stays glued. So this is where double-sided tape would really come in handy. All my double-sided tape is in storage somewhere. But it's not necessary. It's handy, but not necessary. So what I just did was I just glued these together and these together on this side over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. You could go ahead and glue these down first and then put, yeah, I think I will. I think I'll just go ahead and glue this down to the page first. Then I'll put the envelope in. And if you notice this right here wasn't even, it was kind of slanted, that's okay because I can cover that up with the decoration. I can just put another piece of washi tape right there actually. And I might do that. I might just put a different kind of piece of washi, or just leave it as is. I could actually even paint over it too if I wanted to, but I'm not even gonna worry about it right now. Or I could stamp it or do all kinds of stuff. So I'm just gonna add some glue here. And then here on this side. And basically, I'm getting ready to seal this envelope inside of here. Now, something I should have done, which I completely forgot about, it makes it easier if you kind of not round off, but kind of peek your corners. Well, actually, that's if you're going the other way. Never mind, it's okay like this. There was another way that I could have put this on here, but I didn't. I'm not going to worry about it. This is going to work like this. It's going to swivel back and forth. And you can decorate it here if you want to, or you can leave it, or you can, you know. But anyway, we have us a little flap right here. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to decorate these pages. I just went and found some images, and not images, but some, this is just like a little pocket that I made from some, just some painted paper. And basically all I did was I folded it in half. and then cut it in half, and took the two halves and put one half here, one up here, put it in the paper trimmer, and then cut it slanted and then stitched around the edges. But it's pretty easy. Basically it's just 2 pages folded up and put together, you know, like that. Yeah. So I'm just going to glue this on, and I'm just going to decorate these pages and decorate the envelope with some of the stuff that I've already had made in my stash. Okay, so now I'm finally finished. So here's our little layout, and so I just added like a little pocket right here and here and here, and then I just added a little paper clip that I made a few weeks ago, and basically I just decorated it with just different pieces of ephemera and stuff like that. Added the little envelope. You put something in there. Added a little tab that I had made, cluster tab that I had made earlier, and then I just created a little pocket here. Added some little stuff to fill it in, and then the swivels, and then decorated this page, which was the front part of what we made. And so here are those pages that we salvaged. And you can journal on it, you can decorate it, there are different things that you can do. So this is what they look like, front and back. And each of the pages I distressed them, you know, around the edges using that alcohol ink. But this is what you can do. You can salvage them. You don't have to throw them away. You can still make it work, make it match with whatever project you're working with. And I think it still looks pretty good together. I just added the different colors in there. So this is that signature right here. Sorry for the camera moving around. But yeah, this is that signature of pages that we made. And then this the little tuck spot I created. And then just added some washi tape and some, what do you call it? Stencil work, not stickers, but fussy cuts and stuff like that. Created like a little belly band right there. And then this is a pocket right here. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, this is what you can do with your papers, even when your printer is acting stuck on stupid and it's just giving you a hard time. You don't throw your papers away, just create with them. Do something with it. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.